Welcome to Little Red Notebook's Take a Seat series, a series of short conversations with neurodiverse trailblazers. Zero pity, pure wins, and zero deficit talk. In this episode, our first for 2026, we're joined by Natasha and Kimiko, co-founders of Pistachio Pay. Natasha
Hi.
lives, hi, Natasha lives with recently diagnosed twice exceptional, which we're going to explore because we haven't had that before. And Kimiko lives with diagnosed ADHD. Welcome, take a seat, guys. How are you?
Good.
We are
Thank you
so
so much for
excited.
having us. Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't wait to talk because I was
I
like, we've got
know.
this.
Well, we've been talking for half an hour, so we should
Yeah.
have
We've been
made that.
talking.
Yeah.
Great conversation already. We're so happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
No, it's a pleasure. And all the way from LA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
LA and Kentucky. So I'm in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
California, and Kimiko is in, let me say this right, Louisville, Kentucky. Is that right,
Uh,
Kimiko?
that was that was a good try. It's Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville,
Louisville,
Louisville.
Kentucky.
Louisville.
Yeah. Louisville. There you go.
Tell us about Louisville.
Yeah, tell us.
What's
Oh,
its claim to fame?
bourbon, I guess. There's a lot of bourbon here.
Kentucky bourbon,
Yeah.
of course.
Really good. There's really good bourbon here. So I moved here in high school from Hawaii. So I wasn't raised here, but I have lived here for quite a while. I met my partner here. I had a kid here. It's a great city. It's very, for the most part, I would say like open and welcoming to all types of people. I know Kentucky has kind of a bad reputation for lack of, uh, lack of openness, but I think Louisville is kind of like the little spot. Louisville and probably Lexington are like the little spots of openness in the city that is Kentucky. We don't leave the city very much. But yeah, it's a it's a great little town. Yeah. Yes, I grew up on the Big Island on the Hilo side.
Ah,
So yeah, the Hilo side's the local side, and then Kona is the
yeah.
the touristy side because there's like a huge mountain in the middle of the island, and all the clouds get trapped on the mountain, so it rains all the time on the Hilo side, and that's where the rainforests are. But then all the tourists go to the sunny side. They don't like the rain as much. So,
Yeah, the I've been to Hilo. I
oh,
actually got
nice,
I got an Hawaiian shirt, an authentic Hawaiian shirt from Hilo,
nice.
and I've still got it 30
Oh,
years later. Um,
Wow,
I wear
that's
it, and then
cool.
Sabina tells me off. I had to get a new one this year because we went to Fiji, and
Oh,
Sabina,
cool.
my wife, told me it's time for a new one. The Hilo one has had its day.
no, but we like what we like, don't we?
We do,
Yeah,
but Hilo's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. I miss it. Sometimes you can see the snow on the mountain and the beach at the same time. So it's really
No.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it is
Yeah, it
incredible. The
snows
Big
on Mauna
Island's
Kea.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, at the very top.
I didn't.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
the flowing lava. Mm.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes there's lava too. That's really cool. You can see it in the distance sometimes.
Mm.
Oh,
It's cool as long as it doesn't like take your house.
yeah.
But
Yeah. So tell us about LA. You like in LA?
Oh, I born and raised here. I'm a Valley girl. So if you've ever heard the song from the 80s, right? Valley girl. I'm
Yeah.
that. So I say like a lot. No, I love it. I love LA. I love California. It's a beautiful place. We've got the mountains, we've got the deserts, we've got the ocean. I mean, it's just wonderful. I've lived everywhere though. My husband and I have been all over the country. Not necessarily by choice, just because that's
mm,
life. And so I think we've crossed the country 7 times. So I've been to every state except Alaska, and I
Hmm.
have lived in many. I mean, like Texas, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, California, and then in California, more northern and southern California. So I've been around, yeah. But LA, I feel like building here. Like I'm really trying to stay here. I feel like there's just a real heartbeat for neurodivergent people here. There's a real awareness of it, and you don't find that everywhere. I find that it can be kind of judgy, and here it seems that every other person I meet, if not every person I meet, is neurodivergent. So it's
yeah.
exciting, and I feel like I get to learn more about who I am in an environment that's really open and free and welcoming of people of all kinds. That's the beauty of LA. We are very much a melting pot. So it's been weird living in other places where it's sort of not that way, very monolithic and sort of just one thing. I do better in environments like this that I was raised in, where everybody's included and we learn from each other. So yeah, I love it here. Oh, just hit my head.
The talk about neurodivergence. So we'll get into the neurodivergent side. But
Yeah.
you were recently diagnosed as twice exceptional. Now that's something I'm aware of because I'm been diagnosed twice exceptional as well. But with autism, yours is a different diagnosis. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I would, as I was meeting with this newer therapist I had, she was amazing. And I learned so much about myself. And I was telling her about how when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I just started playing Mozart, Bach, Beethoven by ear, playing piano
Mhm.
and just could hear things and hear entire orchestrations in my mind. I can single out a certain instrument when I'm listening to music. I can play anything by ear. Maybe it isn't the quite right way to do it, but of course, the natural reaction to that is I'm going to get her lessons. And so I told my therapist I got lessons and they tried to teach me Mary Had a Little Lamb. And it was like, nope, nope. And, to the
Wow.
world, I looked like a stubborn kid. But really, I was
Yeah.
just someone who had ability, but also had some limitations.
Yeah.
Attention deficit, which I didn't get diagnosed with until I was 38 years old.
Hmm.
And I also have complex PTSD, which at that point I would have. I had very early childhood extreme trauma. And so ADHD and what else? Dyslexia. I was diagnosed with dyslexia, I think at about 5 years old. I don't know how they figured that out so early. Maybe I don't know, but I just remember going to these things. They even put me in this dark room where they spin you around in circles. It was so bizarre, the sort of therapies. And my parents, my mom and my grandmother, they did the best they could to get me the kind of care that I needed. But I grew up just feeling always like there's something wrong with me. I'm a burden. I have these exceptional gifts, right? I've got, I mean, very close to perfect pitch and the ability to create music and entire orchestration, singing counter melodies. By the time my mom said I was singing before I could speak. So, you have all these abilities, but then you have all these, I don't like to say disabilities. I just have all these different ways of being, divergencies. And so now I'm learning more about myself and being diagnosed 2E has been great because it's making me feel like, oh, well, I'm just misunderstood. And so working through that with the therapist was amazing. Unfortunately, she moved out of the country. Like, dang it, I want to learn
Oh,
more. So I've
damn.
got to find a new therapist, but yeah, it was it was a huge relief to get that. And even the
Yeah.
ADHD diagnosis at 38, I'm like, wow, okay, that explains so much. So instead of judging me, now I can explain to you why A, B, or C. May I can even explain it to myself so that I don't get so down on myself all the time. Lots of self-worth
Yeah.
issues, and I think a lot of that comes from my childhood and growing up not really knowing fully who I am.
Yeah. It's interesting that real divergence between knowing and not knowing
Hmm.
and that void that creates because there's pre-diagnosis and then post-diagnosis.
Yeah.
How has that been for you? Apart from just understanding it now, but how has it shaped you?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's really changed a lot because when you have it helps you with self-love and self-acceptance. So the way
Mm,
that I project to the people around me, or not project, the way I come across to people around me, if they don't understand, I can even help preface those things sometimes. Like I know something I'm very self-aware too, and I did a lot of research on this and as much as I could anyway, as I'm learning, especially building this product. Um, I've just become such an advocate of us neurodivergents. I'm sorry, my dogs are shaking their ears all over the place over there.
it's all good.
Sorry. They're just so annoying. But
We're pet friendly.
I
That's fine.
Okay, we love our little Duke and Lucy over there. But I've learned a lot about myself, and I think it helps me communicate with others, and it helps me advocate for myself as well. Going to college and having accommodations, I was able to say, "Oh, I just learned differently. I'm not defective. I'm divergent." And so now I consider myself, as much as I can be, an advocate. Right now, I don't have an autism diagnosis. my therapist said she couldn't, diagnose me with that. I'd have to go through like very expensive, and my husband too. We totally think that my husband is on the spectrum. And
Right.
so, understanding that and sort of trying to communicate to each other through that lens and have understanding with each other through that lens has been a huge game changer in our relationship, how we relate to the world, and how we can help other people understand who we are instead of
Yeah.
allowing them to, because how could I tell them before? I didn't understand it myself. Now I understand. So I can say, I just want you to know I'm just struggling with some RSD right now, some rejection sensitive dysphoria. And so right now I'm just processing that, but I'll be okay in about a half an hour. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
that's one example that I could use from just yesterday. Like yesterday
Yeah.
something happened and I was struggling and I just had to be like, I'm gonna be okay in a little bit. I have to process this. I have to understand that it's not personal. I have to not let it affect my sense of worth. And rather, I just need to take a minute, realize that it's part of my biology, and then move on. And maybe there's better tricks and tools that I'll learn eventually, but I'm new to this. And at the very least, being able to recognize it is like, oh, it's just it brings a huge sense of peace. I don't
Yeah,
feel
it
as
is a game
numbed.
changer, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really is. Then, and that's that point where you're able to then verbalize it. You're able to, because I remember growing up and I
Hmm.
was late diagnosed. So I've had probably more of a lifetime
Hmm.
navigating the unknown
Oh.
aspect of what I'm dealing with. But to actually have the language to communicate where you're at and what they're witnessing, as opposed to not being able to verbalize it, I think is really important. And
Yeah.
it's been a game changer for me is that I understand it, and it allows you're right, it allows me to communicate differently and with a bit more clarity too, which then takes the
Mhm.
pressure off, hopefully off me. Although I've got to learn how to take the pressure off me a little bit, but that's another story.
Yeah, that
Um,
totally.
Yeah.
We do. We put a lot of pressure, and we do a lot of
Yeah.
self-deprecating, and the world doesn't quite help a lot with that. I just there's a tool I use. Kimiko uses it too. It's a platform called the Fulcrum, and we use this bot Archie. I swear I'm not being paid by them. I just really love it. I mean, there's been
They're just cool.
situations where I can add her as my team member. They do this whole psychological blueprint, and it understands me and it understands her. And let's say we're having an issue, right? I can say, hey, or even my husband, he signed up to, we really believe in Archie believes that he's most likely on the spectrum. So like if I'll do the one with my husband. We had a misunderstanding, something that in 12 years of marriage probably would have taken on average 30 minutes to an hour to resolve. I spoke to Archie about it. I was like, it understands his psychological blueprint, understands mine. And I was like, having this issue. I'm really frustrated. I feel like we're not understanding each other. Can you just talk to him from your voice, Archie, and help him understand why I'm feeling this way and help him understand a path forward? He did it. I passed over the phone to my husband. I am not kidding you. It squashed the argument in a minute, maybe less.
yeah,
It was amazing. And so like it's like there are tools out there that we can use.
Mhm.
And the guys that develop this are neurodivergent as well, but I use it even when I'm communicating to Kimiko because I want to make sure that I'm being
Mhm.
sensitive to how she's going to receive information. And I want to
yeah,
understand I am speaking to her in a way that it's not going to be offensive or that she's not going to misunderstand. And so, because we've spent enough of our life as neurodivergent people feeling misunderstood. So I just wanted to plug
Mhm.
that because honestly, I have no, it's not, I swear I'm not being paid, but it's been huge for me. And so as we're kind of talking about this, it just sort of sparked that. I'm just, if it helps other people, it helps us a lot. So I'm
Yeah.
speaking for
yeah,
me, but I know Kamiko's also really
yeah.
like,
Kimiko,
Yeah.
you were diagnosed with ADHD. Tell us about that journey.
Oh, so yeah, I was late diagnosed as well. I didn't get diagnosed until I was an adult, and it was very confusing to my partner and I as like we moved through life, he just kind of was like, what what is happening, How come like and he would get really frustrated and I was not really seeing it, because I'm just like, you know, going through life or whatever. So it was really a relief when we found out about it, just being able to set up systems that could help both of us, and communication systems as well. It explained why, I would notice very, very little small details about when I'm in a conversation with someone, but then I'd miss like this huge obvious thing, the point of what they were trying to say. And that would be kind of frustrating for him, because he'd be like, I thought you were listening, you heard all of it. You can, you can almost, like, I can almost, till the end of every movie that I watch, because it's just so, you notice everything.
Ah,
Um,
sorry,
so
that's so true. Because we
yeah,
recognize patterns. That's why I do
right.
that. You know the end
Yeah.
already.
Right. And he would be like, what, that happened? And then why can't you, do that for our relationship? But you just kind of you miss like some obvious things for some reason. So yeah, it's been really good knowing about it and knowing how I work. I used to really get on myself because I would just I thought I was lazy because I could just never get anything done. But then when I would get something done, it was like it got done. I can't
Yeah.
I it's just like I kind of work in this. I can't do the 9 to 5 thing. I work in these sprints. So just
Yeah.
knowing about it and knowing how I'm different and how I work, it lets me take pressure off of myself, and that I don't have to do everything like the same way that everybody else does. And it's
Yeah.
been really good. Yeah.
It's interesting. One of the great things I find, and I found from being diagnosed, is that it allows you to find your rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. That resonates. And it's exactly what you said. We work in sprints, you know. The nine to
Yeah.
five thing doesn't work. I wake up at 4. By 4:30, I start to work, and I sort of work in sprints like all day long. And sometimes, and I got to stop myself because I'll stop. I won't stop, and
Yeah.
it'll be 9 or 10 at night. And so my husband has to help me just stop. But yeah, exactly. Rhythms are so important for people who are neurodivergent, and to lean into it and say, hey, this isn't a defect. This is
Mm-hmm.
just how I work. And actually, I work really well. And when I get stuff done, it's beautiful. So it's worth
Mm-hmm.
letting me just work in the weird rhythm that I have, right? Not weird, but the rhythm that I have.
Right.
I think it's so important that we, once we do get that diagnosis, and you don't have to have a diagnosis to try and explore your rhythms, but
Mhm.
it kind of gives it a lot more when you've got that diagnosis behind you and that understanding of what you're working with. It
Yeah.
allows you to explore and play with those rhythms and define those rhythms a lot more. Kimiko, what's your key rhythm?
My key rhythm, oh man, is going to be a little bit embarrassing. So I get up really late. Like I'm very, very much a night person, and so I stay up really, really late. And it's really hard because I know I should go to bed, but it's just I can't. I can't. Even if I go to bed, I just lay there, So
Yeah.
I get up pretty late, like the opposite of Natasha. And yeah, I immediately usually get into work and just work, get super fixated on whatever it is that I'm working on. I have a little alarm to tell me to eat in the middle of the day because I'll forget to eat. And yeah, and then eventually my son will come home from school and he'll be like, okay, you need to stop working. And I'm like, oh, okay, time to make dinner. You know what I mean? And those are the days where I'm having a lot of focus time. If I'm having a really hard time focusing, sometimes it's just really hard to get motivated, and
Yeah.
you just kind of meander throughout the day and do different random things. But I feel like it kind of makes up for it on the days that I'm really focused.
Yeah. And you're really into video games, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, that might be one of the reasons why I end up staying up too late. It's just I get really, really fixated on whatever I'm playing. I'm really into this game called Arc Raiders right now. It just came out a few months ago, and it's really cool. It's like I love it and hate it at the same time because anyone who plays it will know what I mean. It's so great, and unless it's not, and then it's like awful, but it's a lot of fun, and it's multiplayer, so that's a lot of how my interactions with my friends are too. We'll play games together, so we spend time that way, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
I
that
like
gives
it.
you the social outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I do have most of my game friends, I will say, are guys. And then with girls, we meet for coffee or whatever. But I did try and get one of my friends to play a game with me online, and she tried it, and it was very gracious of her. And then the next time she was like, I'm just gonna color while you play your game. I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, it's a good social outlet as well. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Great. Natasha, what's your go-to? What's your thing?
For 15 years, I worked in the church, in church ministry as a music director. And I love music. Music is my soul and but it became, I won't say it became work. It really never, I don't know. I really loved it. But I unexpectedly pivoted. The last church I worked for closed. And yeah, I was working on Pistachio Pay already. So I would say I love music. I would say I'm like the pop culture queen. I love movies, music,
Mm.
pop culture, comedy. I mean, a lot of we really find the real nail in the coffin for me, the thing that really pushed me to build Pistachio Pay was actually a comedy routine. It was stand-up comedy. John Mulaney, his Baby J special. He was talking about how he was talking about how he basically tricked his money manager into giving him allowing him to buy a Rolex watch with a credit card. And he said wealth manager. And I was like, wealth manager? Like I could use one of those. And that's how that all came. But I get hyper fixated on like my husband and we're both this way. We'll get like so into a show. It's all we watch. Like we'll get into Modern Family mode and we're watching it for like the seventh time through. And right now we have new episodes of Shrinking, but this is why I
Yes,
think I have autism. Oh, it's just the best show. Isn't it just the best? I
it's
love
so
art.
good.
I love art. I love culture. I love the art of acting and creating. And I think about like I love 30 Rock too, because 30 Rock,
Yeah.
it's all about writers and the production of the show. And I just get so into it. And we talk about these people like they're in our lives. I mean, we
They
really
would do, don't
do.
we?
Yeah.
Our dogs are named for TV. So like our cat, I mean our cat. Well, we had Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong were our cats. We have Duke Silver. He's named for an alter ego of a character on Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson's cat. Yeah, and then like our girl dog is Lucille Ball Barber.
Yeah.
She's really so like yeah, I just am like really into yeah, I love movies. I love documentaries. And it's really funny because it'll take me in these days, especially like when I'm really busy and in sort of the throes of work. I have it on in the background. We watch together in the evenings on whatever we're fixated on together. But during the day, I can't get through a 2020 episode. I mean, I'm really into like, I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm super into like murder shows. So 2020 Dateline. I can't get enough. Maybe it's the hypervigilance in me. I like to feel prepared
Yeah.
for like if a serial killer is after me, but I just find it all fascinating. Criminology, just like I don't know. I call my husband Natopedia. He's even more that guy. I mean, he just knows so many little facts about people. He can see like a character actor and be like, "Oh yeah, that's so and so. They were on whatever. Don't you remember? They were the postman in that one episode." And I'm like, "You're crazy." So, yeah, I don't know if that answers the question. I don't know, I love art in all forms. The other day I saw a Banksy in person, and we went
Yeah.
downtown, and I was like,
Yeah,
there
the
he
Swing
is.
Girl. I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Oh, it was so cool. And just looking at the history of it, and like, gosh, this used to be a parking lot, and now it's like, a Crate and Barrel or whatever the heck, West Elm. And I'm like, this is crazy. It's just the thought of all of it around it and just everything he stood for. And then I was listening, I was super into a Wu-Tang fixation at the time, so that Cash song just really worked. That what is it, Cream? Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
my brain makes connections and weaves things, and I like to create, and I love and respect other people that do. Yeah, really do. And that's why we want to weave some of those elements into Pistachio Pay. We're going to be the fun money
Mhm.
app.
There was another part of it, and that Pistachio Pay is your way of bringing art to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We see this as art. Now, most people don't see finance as art, but I do because what it does is we're gonna approach it from a really creative lens because we're creatives. Both
Yeah.
Kimiko and I are both creatives. And so everything we approach is going to come from that angle. And so also by doing this, we're allowing other people to explore their art. Like I can't imagine how many people with ADHD or ASD or bipolar disorder or whatever never ever do anything that they're really dreaming of, like starting a podcast or starting a business or being a painter, or whatever it may be, being a musician. And maybe they don't even do it because they just are so bogged down by their finances because they're losing $500 to $2,000 a month on all these crazy fees. And over, overdrafts and duplicate subscriptions. I mean, the statistics are insane. And so, in my view, we're bringing art into the world by creating a very creative and artistic and highly beautiful, we're going to make it beautiful, app platform that understands you. That in and of itself is art. Creating and coding is art. You're creating something out of nothing. Anytime you're creating something out of nothing like that, it's art.
Yeah,
And on
it
top
is
of that,
art, isn't it?
we're enabling other people to find their art and do the things they love and enjoy their money. And so that's like I see it. I hope that answers the question. I hope. But yeah, to me, it's all art. Like
Bridging bringing
it's
art
not
to the
just for the
world.
white collar, boring
Yeah.
office people.
But let's
Yeah.
just stop for a sec. Let's let the viewers know what Pistachio Pay actually is, because they might not be aware of what it is.
Sure, sure. We are the first trauma-informed financial automation platform specifically designed for neurodivergent adults. The reason we started this is because worldwide there are 300 million people who have ADHD. I'm just talking ADHD. We're not even talking about other ones. And this is just because these are the biggest, most published numbers. And they're
Yeah.
shocking. They're shocking, right? So 73% of people with ADHD report being so overwhelmed by their finances that they won't even check their banking app. 73%. And then the worst one that I found out actually yesterday or the day before, people with ADHD are 4 times more likely to commit suicide because of that exact issue. Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
overwhelmed by their finances. They're stressed out. All these apps that are out there, I'd love to say that there was one that worked, but I've tried them all. If you name it, I promise you I've tried it. I search internationally. I search I'm like, where is my answer? And the automation alone just simply doesn't solve the problem because it's not taking into account impulse spending issues. It's not taking into account the fact that we forget that we've signed up for several of the same subscription or we forgot to cancel that trial. It doesn't take into account the interest rates that we get socked with or the late fees. When you add all of that up, on average, people are losing, and I could be wrong on this exact number, but I believe it's like $583 a month on average in like all those fees. For me,
Yeah.
I created a GBT. Is it called a GPT, Kimiko? The little calculator that I made, ADHD. I made this like ADHD tax calculator. Do you remember when I did that? You don't? And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
made my own little guy
Yes,
and
yes,
I
yes.
did it for myself and I knew it. I knew it was going to come out at almost $2,000 a month on Lost. And that sounds crazy to people, but it's because I'm over since May, I've been working on this. And before I had Kimiko, I had all these subscriptions, trials for things that are very expensive when you're trying to build software. So there'd be a trial I forgot about and it's $200. It'd be,
Yeah.
or I have 4 Adobe subscriptions and each of them is 16 and that's 60. I mean, it really adds up. And so
Wow.
I'm an extreme example, but it's not that I'm lazy with money or it's not that I'm irresponsible. It's not that I have anything to show for it. You're not going to see me walking around with a Prada bag or Louboutin shoes. No, it's just money I don't know where it went. And I think there's so
Yeah.
many people that go, where did all my money go? And we're living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, I think in the United States, can't remember the exact, it's like people that make over $100,000 a year report um, feeling like they're living paycheck to paycheck. It's like, I think it's like 47%. That number might be wrong, but it's high. And the fact that you make $100,000 a year and you feel like you would live paycheck to paycheck is a problem. So I started building the solution and then that's when I told Kimiko about it and she was like, that it's really, startups are really hard. And I was like,
They are.
Yeah.
and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It is the hardest thing
Yeah.
I've ever done. And I've done lots of hard things, but it is the hardest thing I've ever done. But every day I'm reminded by the different people who reach out to us who are waiting for this, whether it's a therapist or a wealth advisor who himself needs it, or it's, a young man who's has autism, and he's so a believer in this and so excited. Whoever it is reaching out to me, this is a lifeline. And so what we're creating is it's going to automate your bill pay. It's going to give you a safe to spend weekly allowance. And then we have some other amazing features built from our lived experience. And that's why we feel this hasn't happened yet. And the last thing I'll say is I just learned this recently in the UK. They passed these consumer duty laws, regulations. I'm not really sure what they are exactly, but it's financial institutions are absolutely required to promise good outcomes for vulnerable customers. That includes people with ADHD, autism spectrum, and bipolar neurodivergencies. And no one has built anything yet that is helping meet that need. There are things that help, but altogether we're asked to fit into a round hole, and we're a bunch of square pegs. We're just different, not defective. And so we're building something that comes alongside as a partner. You can think of it as a democratized wealth manager. It'll fit in your pocket, and it's going to be an ally and a friend, and there'll be accountability, but not with any shame, trauma informed. So everything you do, we want you to enjoy your money. That's what this is about. It's not about we want you to know you can't go to Starbucks every day. No. How about we talk about that? How about we find a way for you to do that? How about we have visuals around your goals and your dreams? And so I don't want to give too much of the IP away, but we're building a beautiful product, and I'm so excited. I can't wait because I'm going to use it myself.
I love the fact that it's lived experience built, because you're right. There's so much in our world that we have to try and adapt to and trying to fit into, but to have something that's built from a lived experience perspective allows the user to actually, feel comfortable within it.
Yeah.
Is that the key thing?
Absolutely. Yes, you're not going to have to log in and see your bank account. Gosh, I wish I could share more. But there's things that Kimiko's working on that I'm like, I can't say it, but it's very customized to you, and you aren't going to have to run. Sometimes I used to. Now our money's so small that I know exactly how much we have. But I'll log in and I'll hold my hand over the balance so I don't see it. You're not going to have to do that with Pistachio Pay. I'll say that. It's not going to trigger you. It's going to be a safe place from the second we onboard you to the second you start using it, and in the life of the app. And as long as you're using it, will be a companion and a safe place. And we're not cutting corners. We're doing everything as well as we can.
Wonderful. Kimiko, what excites you about it?
I find that building the product is really exciting, just the different things that we're trying. And again, I don't want to give too much away, but we're trying some new things that haven't really been done before. And that's really exciting to me. I have a lot of when I was building it, or when I first started building it, it was actually triggering some of my financial trauma, because I have a lot of, I grew up really, really poor. And so it was very, I don't know, just trying to figure out how much things are going to cost to build it. And it's just kind of got me a little bit, triggered. But I'm really excited that, I will never have to look at a spreadsheet ever again for my money once we build it. Because for me, I'm either oblivious to my money or I'm completely consumed with it. I have to know where every dollar is. And when I go in, I'm making spreadsheets. It's driving me crazy. So I'm not in that mode right now, which is great. But when I'm on, being responsible with my money, it's just, I can't stop looking at it. I can't stop knowing where every dollar goes. And it's just maddening. So yeah, I'm excited to have something that will do that for me, and something that will take that stress out of my life, and just, help me. I don't have to go through and figure out all the patterns to my spending and what am I doing. And, I can just let the app do it for me, and then it can just tell me, and it'll be really nice, So that's what I'm excited about. Less looking at spreadsheets. I hate paperwork.
So where are you at the moment? Because we're still pre-release. So what's the state of play right now?
We are deep in the raise. We are we are deep in the
God.
raise. It is the hardest thing and it's the weirdest thing. Like we are talking with venture capital firms, some inbound, angel investors. I mean, I've grown this LinkedIn following. It's shocking by 1,400%. No ad spend, nothing special, words and pictures. And it's like resonating. But here's the problem in the way that our economy is right now, and also just the sort of the way venture capital works, they want to see revenue before they're investing. And so it's like, but how can you bring a fintech to market with all the regulatory compliance hurdles? And we want to do it right.
Yeah.
We're not going to cut corners. We're not going to take that
Mhm.
risk. We'd rather be best than be, we are the first, but we'd rather do this really right. That's most important to us, protect our users. They were already traumatized enough. We're not going to traumatize them more. So
Yeah.
making
Mhm.
sure everything's great. We've got great partnerships. I mean, I am so excited. We call ourselves the Noom for finance. I don't know if you're familiar with Noom. Noom was
Yeah.
an app that combined weight loss and psychology. We are combining psychology and finance. So we're so
Yeah.
excited because we got the senior content writer for Noom. She's also a behavior change
Mhm.
specialist, and she is so excited to come on board. So we've got a killer team. We've got a back end fintech expert. We've got Kimiko. We've got Kimiko's friend, who's an incredible full stack engineer. We have an advisor from a publicly traded financial company who's just been a total champion there every step of the way. And now we've got more people coming along. I've got these guys that are exit strategists so excited about us that they're like, you know what, we believe in this so much, we're going to help you. And so right now we're just trying to find like maybe some alternative capital resources because at the end of the day we need to build this and then we want to bring it to market. Or we could be blessed with some angel who shows up in a superhero cape and goes, here you go. And so we're right now, we're raising, we're open. We're not closed-minded. We're taking advice from incredible people who are sitting down
Mhm.
with us and using their time, which is more valuable than money, to advise us and
Mhm.
help us. And so we've built a prototype. It's just a clickable prototype right now. We're getting the word out. We're building community. And so we know that by building this movement, by even raising awareness of this at all, is where we're sort of starting organically. And that's very much how I am, just as a person. I mean, at like 15, I
Mhm.
threw a benefit concert for as a punk rock kid with mohawks on my head, three mohawks on my head, with like super punk. And I did a benefit show for an organization, a local organization that gives vegan food to the homeless. And so like I'm a movement starter. I'm a an activist, I guess you can say, an advocate. And so we're starting there. We have a product, we have a killer team, and we just need to raise our capital. So that's where we're at. I don't know if Kimiko, if you have anything else to add, but we're just raising it. It's hard.
No. Yep.
The
Ditto.
one question I
Ditto.
have, and yeah, one question I have, and it's a really important question because I'm a big believer in manifestation.
Mm.
And how much do you need to raise to get it off the ground?
To get it off we're trying to raise 2 million right now. We're trying to
Right.
raise 2 million. But if we're looking, if we were just really recently had a meeting about this, and we have some other ways we could go about it. But I think to really bring like the best product to market, 150 is the sweet spot. After running it through all of our LLMs, we feel like, and advisors, right? Human advisors and then robots or vice versa. We really think that to build this responsibly, to make it beautiful, because neurodivergent users, we connect we're pattern matchers, right? So like if you see something that looks like clunky and it doesn't work well and it looks like crap, you're not going to sign up for that. We want people to feel safe, even just looking at the thing. So to really
Yeah.
build this right, we think 150 is the sweet spot. We're very much open to an angel check for 150. We're trying to keep our cap table clean. It's really important to us that we're not diluting ourselves here. And we want to be wise. We've got fractional CFOs talking to us, and we're doing everything. talking with compliance experts and lawyers. I'm doing everything we can do to make sure that we do this right, but it's expensive to do it right. It's expensive.
Yeah. So 2 million's the number, yeah?
That's the goal.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's believe it, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's just put it out there. Yeah. If that's what it's going to cost to bring it to life and to do it in a way which meets all the aspects that you want it to have, then let's go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's firepower. That's amazing. I mean, I live in LA, and it's not just because I live in LA. People, even my robots, unprompted, two of them called me Forrest Gump. I've got the weirdest connections you've ever heard of, and I'm not going to start name dropping, but my life has been weird. And so I just am a very well-connected person, and I found myself in weird situations. And so when it comes time to bring this to market, it's going to be amazing. If we could get that 2 million, it would be firepower all the way for promotion, for
Yeah.
marketing. And then you add the creativity and the team we have, it's going to be killer. But trying to get
Yep.
someone to be the first direct check writer is definitely a challenge. And that's not unusual. That's normal. And I also have to realize I've accelerated the heck out of this thing. I started in
Yeah.
May. I only started posting on LinkedIn August 28th. So between August 28th and today, all of this pretty much has happened. And that's just not including my own research, which is about 1,000 hours prior to starting posting on LinkedIn. I think it was 1,000. It might have been like 500, but it was a lot before I started posting. Altogether about 2,000 now. Crazy.
So when do you want to bring it to market? When's the optimum time?
We would love to bring this to market by like July. Right, Kimiko,
Yeah.
like July. I
Yeah.
mean, initially we wanted May, you know. I mean, May was Mental Health Awareness Month. May would have been
Mm.
1 year since I started, very newsworthy. But you have to adjust and you have to be realistic. And the last thing on earth I'm going to do is stress out Kimiko or stress out
Mm.
anyone else trying to bring something. And we don't want to rush it. We want it to be right. So yeah, I think
Mm.
July is where we're at now, and that means we need funding soon. So like
Mhm.
now, like yesterday. So let's do it. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed on your website that you've got a wait list.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. So we didn't push it too hard. I like to see how things happen organically. That's why I've done no ad spend because then I'm able to say 1,400% growth, no ad spend. 100 people on the waiting list, very minimal effort. This is just putting it in a few groups on LinkedIn. I mean, and like 2 posts on Facebook on my personal page. And we've gotten about 100. And the cool thing about it is we have two. We have the wait list, which is just a couple answer questions. Then we have the survey and wait list, which is where the majority, I would say right now it's 52 of the 100 are from the survey and wait list. And the cool
Yeah.
thing about that is we are learning what our customer wants, where the pain points are, and how much they'd pay for it. So when VC
Mhm.
or angels are ready to have serious conversations, we're able to show them data. We're not just showing them, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of names. This is names. This is how much we pay for it, what we want, what we don't want. Everybody's loving it. And weirdly, I'm being told this feedback, which is that people feel seen. They feel seen by just the survey alone, which has been really validating because someone else had said a well-meaning friend was like, I think it's too long, and a fellow founder, and just like, I think it's too long and you should shorten it and no one's going to do it. And the person was in a program that's really well respected. But for us and for our audience, again, we're divergent. And in fact, people are thanking us for it. They're like, wow, I feel seen. And so we're going to keep it the way it is because we have the two options. Based on his feedback, I said, okay, so we created the extra wait list that's simple and short. But most people we're finding actually want to take the survey and wait list and they like it. So it's a wonderful
Mhm.
tool. We're really happy with the results so far. But we'd love to get more people on there so that we can show investors that this is something people are really needing.
Yeah, it's really important. And from someone who is very systems orientated and such as myself, to actually see the rise of neuro-led, neurodivergent-led enterprises, and because their architecture is built differently.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
and that's what excites me the most is actually
Yeah.
seeing that architecture come out into the world because I think there's a lot there.
Yeah.
Kamiko, would you agree with that?
Mhm. Yeah, I would. I have had the privilege of working um, for people that were neurodivergent. So in my last my big gig was with Praxis Labs, and they were a company that was all about trying to spread empathy in the workplace. So we would build like VR experiences from minority groups' point of view, and people would go in and they'd be able to have this different experience from the normal experience. And so most of the people that I worked with, well, this is pretty common amongst developers, I think. They're or like creative developers, like for VR, they were neurodivergent, and so my manager, who's like the best manager that I've ever had, totally, he got me, and the way he built was his designs were neurodivergent. The way he did things was great for me. And we had like some non-neurodivergent people on the team as well, which was really helpful. Like I had a program manager that saved me because she could like help me, map out how long things take because I have a really hard time mapping that out sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so it's for me it's like been really cool to be able to work with the creative engineers, and neurodivergent people. And I did work at a company that it was very much the opposite, and their stuff worked, but it was just kind of not as, I don't know. There's a lot of rules that you had to follow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
fluidity is really important, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So the website, pistachiopay.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need money. So we're reaching out to the universe and
Yes.
everyone out there to bring this to life. What
Yeah.
else? What do you need from? What else do you need from people who are seeing this right now?
Yeah, just come on and follow me on LinkedIn. Right now, that's my main mode of where I'm communicating. First of all, I really like it because I've curated a following of just great. I just follow great people that are just not drama. I went back on Facebook recently and I was like, this is why I'm not here. Everybody complaining about Bad Bunny. I'm like, I felt seen as a Latina. What are you talking about? Anyway, I love LinkedIn. So I'm there right now. It's working really well for us. If you want to add us, we'll connect with you. So please do that. Please join the wait list, whether it's the wait list
Yes.
that's the short one or the long one. That's helpful. And
Yes.
just follow along. We're building this. We're quick. We've done this quick, and I anticipate we work every day. So even though we're not funded, Kimiko and we are pounding the pavement. We are both doing what we need to do, and we're working really hard. And I'll be pitching an event. I'm going to be pitching for Fabric VC on February 18th. That's next Wednesday. And so people can attend it. I mean, you can watch it, and I'll be showing some really fun things, and you can learn more. But just follow our journey. Where I am building in public, so we are building in public. So everything, all our updates, everything, we're sharing that because we want people to be in on this with us, and we want feedback. We want to know what our customers want. Because we're
Yeah.
building this with you and with me and with Kimiko in mind. Like this is what we're doing, and we're doing it for you and for us. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Data.
Beautiful.
More data is always good.
more
Yeah.
data.
For
We want the
yeah.
data, yeah.
Mhm.
We know it. It's out there. It's like everybody I tell about this is like, when can I get it? I need that. Neurotypical and neurodivergent alike. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you can do to support us. And if
Now,
you have money, give it to us too.
I'm going to finish off our 2026 take a seat with one question, and I'm going to ask both of you that question right now to finish off. But first of all, I just want to say good luck with Pistachio Pay. It sounds wonderful, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it in action. And the more neurodivergent led services and products out there, we're going to create some great things. So well done on the journey so far. I want one piece of wisdom from both of you in terms of what you would share, a piece of wisdom that resonates with you, that you carry with you throughout your journey, that you would share with other neurodivergent people.
I just want to encourage you all, like, don't ever allow the world to tell you that you are defective. You are just different, and your brain is beautiful and it's capable of things that other brains just aren't capable of. Lean into that and don't let it stop you from trying things. Like, I know it's scary, and I've made this invitation on a different podcast. If you're a neurodivergent founder, or if you're thinking of starting something and you're scared, I will talk to you. You send me a DM, and I'm going to encourage your socks off because this journey is freaking hard. Like, it's the hardest thing I've done. I have complex PTSD for a reason. Like, I had a rough life, and this is the hardest thing I've done. hands down, but it's worth it. And the thing that keeps me going is just knowing how many people need it. And so I'm here for you. You're my people. I'm your people. Find support in your community and also find support online through people like myself. I've found a whole community of people that are so behind us and love us. And it's just so isolating feeling like you're defective and alone. You are not defective. You are not alone.
Yep.
Beautiful. Kimiko?
Yep. Yes, mine is similar. So I'm like, she went first. Trust yourself, like I would say trust yourself, trust your gut. You think differently, but everyone thinks the way that they think for a reason. And I think the more viewpoints that we have, the better in any situation. So trust yourself. And also, when you need to ask for help, that's a lesson that I really had to learn because I'm always, I was like, I can do it and I'll prove to you that I can do it. And, I was always I felt like I was always trying to catch up. But there are people out there, if you trust them, then you can ask for help. And that's great because that creates community and that creates relationships and bonds that just help our community, be stronger. So trust yourself, and with people that are trustworthy, ask for help from them.
Wow, great wisdom to start the year off by both of you. You guys are rocking it.
I'm so happy to be here. This was so fun and such a great conversation, Miss Jay. Thank you.
Pleasure. It's been so wonderful to have you, and any way that we can be of support. I know you've joined our NeuroNexus group, which is great. Keep presenting in that as well, and anything we can do in the future, we'll be there for you. But congratulations on what you've done so far. Like, we talk about the end game and what you're bringing to market, but the amount of work and the belief and the risks that you're taking and the reason behind it and what you're trying to give to the world, I think is beautiful.
Thank you for seeing us. It feels so good to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on Take a Seat.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.